Today we have an exciting and informative video lined up just for you. But before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss out on our amazing content. In today's episode, we'll be exploring the announcement of an international central bank digital currency called the Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, or Unicoin, at the International Monetary Fund, IMF, spring meetings in Washington, D.C. and breaking it down into easy-to-understand segments. Whether you're a beginner or an expert in this field, we've got you covered. At this year's spring meetings of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, in Washington, D.C., the introduction of an international central bank digital currency was announced. This so-called Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, also known as Unicoin, is intended to act as a kind of meta-CBDC, functioning in conjunction with all existing national currencies. Although the Digital Currency Monetary Authority, DCMA, and not the IMF is the issuer of this new digital currency, the fact that such a project is presented at an official IMF event is concerning. But who is the DCMA anyway? According to their own description, the DCMA is a global leader in digital currency and monetary policy innovations for governments and central banks. The members of the DCMA allegedly consist of sovereign states, central banks, commercial and retail banks, as well as other financial institutions. The goal of the DCMA is to strengthen the monetary sovereignty of participating central banks and to meet the recent recommendations for crypto assets proposed by the IMF. However, there is little information available about the DCMA, and its website was only registered in 2022. But that is not the only questionable aspect of this matter. The UMU, or Unicoin, is classified as a money commodity according to the press release. Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, symbolized as ANSI character, U, is legally a money commodity, can transact in any legal tender settlement currency, and functions like a CBDC to enforce banking regulations and to protect the financial integrity of the international banking system. In addition to the mentioned aspects of enforcing banking regulations and protecting the financial integrity of the international banking system, cross-border payments are, of course, a designated goal of the UMU. Banks can attach SWIFT codes and bank accounts to a UMU digital currency wallet and transaction SWIFT-like cross-border payments over digital currency rails, completely bypassing the correspondent banking system at best-priced wholesale FX rates and with instantaneous real-time settlement. When looking at the web presence and white paper of this Universal Monetary Unit, one quickly gets the feeling that the project is just another shitcoin, as most Bitcoiners would say. Crypto 2.0, powered by artificial intelligence, high-performance DLT, staked proof of trust, multi-ledger DLT, and many more, the list of buzzwords found there is seemingly endless. We are being told that the Universal Monetary Unit is Crypto 2.0, and those that created it are hoping that it will be widely adopted by all constituencies in a global economy. The DCMA introduces Universal Monetary Unit as Crypto 2.0 because it innovates a new wave of cryptographic technologies for realizing a digital currency public monetary system with a widespread adoption framework encompassing use cases for all constituencies in a global economy. I don't know about you, but this sounds super shady to me. Tyler Durden, author at Zero Hedge. To be honest, it is not yet clear to us how serious this project actually is. Is the DCMA really an established player in the international financial market? Is the IMF in any way involved in the project, or was the framework of the IMF spring meeting merely exploited to push their own project? There has been no official statement from the IMF on this matter so far. The whole thing definitely seems more like a fake. The research by Twitter user, Krippenreiter, which he conducted and published concerning the Unicoin, also paints a clear picture. In the further course, he states that there is also no contact page, as well as no terms of use, privacy statements, licenses, job openings, or developer resources mentioned. And although the media response in this regard has been rather limited, the introduction of the UMU by the DCMA has raised concerns among many people that a worldwide launch of a new global currency would be a massive step for the global agenda of the elites. Various governments in the Western world are simultaneously working on the development of CBDCs, and the European Union has already more or less decided to limit the use of cash and crypto assets to prevent a trail of money laundering and tax evasion. The introduction of digital currencies is controversial, as the privacy of finances is almost entirely lost. Governments and banks can track almost everything that is bought and sold and use information at will. In such a system, there is potential for tyranny and manipulation. Increasingly, fears are being voiced that a dystopian world could emerge in which one would no longer be allowed to buy meat due to carbon credits, and financial privileges could be restricted at the administrative level at any time. The use of cash and other payment methods is gradually being phased out. Each of us should be aware that the introduction of a global digital currency will have massive implications for our freedom and privacy. We need to ask ourselves whether we are truly ready to hand over complete control of our money and financial transactions to a small group of international banks and governments, regardless of whether it's a dollar CBDC, digital euro, or UMU. We must ask ourselves whether we are willing to sacrifice our freedom on the altar of convenience and efficiency. It is important that we educate ourselves about the potential risks and implications of CBDCs and digital currencies in general and actively advocate for the protection of our freedom and privacy. We should not blindly surrender to the promises of governments and banks that claim central digital currencies will solve our problems. Instead, we should support alternative solutions and technologies that preserve our freedom and privacy while simultaneously enabling efficient and secure transactions, like Bitcoin.